Hi, my name is Kerry Aubrey, student number 327314559, and this is my EDN 441 assignment on what type of HASS teacher I want to be. So looking into this, I want to be a HASS teacher that creates critical thinkers. In my classroom, I want students to be able to see multiple facets of issues. I want them to be able to come to their own conclusions on issues, and I want them to know how to explore the issues. This is because when I was younger, I kind of felt like I got fed my issues, and I just took them on board, and I didn't really have the tools to be able to look at them and make my own decisions on the issues. And as I got older and I learned that there were other ways to look at these issues, I would find out that those ways actually suited me better. So within a classroom that creates critical thinkers, so to create critical thinkers in my classroom also needs to include inquiry-based learning. Students need to be able to explore and research to be critical thinkers. I want to create critical thinkers. I want to have a classroom that builds relationships. I want students to be able to trust one another. I want them to care about each other, about the environment. In creating critical thinkers, I want students to be able to respect one another. Respect is created by critical thinking. If we look at one side of an issue, then we're not going to be very open to other people's ideas on that issue, and understanding all facets of an issue and then being able to make our own conclusions helps us have a bit of respect for other people, even if their opinion is different than ours. I want all students to know they have a voice, no matter what opinion they have. Creating critical thinkers involves encouraging diversity. I want all students to know they are valued. All students to know that their differences are what make them special, and their differences come together in the classroom so that we can all share funds of knowledge and learn from one another. They all bring unique experiences and perspectives to the table. Creating critical thinkers involves having a diplomatic classroom where there is dialogue and problem posing. So how will I create critical thinkers? Looking at Ira Shaw's idea of a democratic social education, I've decided that the best way to do that is to keep in mind all the different points that he believes makes up democratic social education, which are my classroom needs to be participatory. Everyone needs to be able to participate and feel comfortable participating. My classroom needs to be affective. Students need to be able to build relationships. I need to create a safe environment where students feel comfortable expressing themselves. I need to create a classroom that is problem posing. They need to be able to look at problems and discuss those problems and be able to come to a solution or an opinion on those problems. I need to create a classroom that is situated, so it needs to involve current events. It needs to hit on topics that are important to my students. I need to create a classroom that is multicultural. The diversity is important. It creates a knowledge that we can't have without everyone's different opinions. So having an understanding of other cultures and their ways of thinking and doing is an important thing. I need a classroom that is dialogic. One of my most important things is creating discussion in the classroom. I really think being able to discuss topics and keep that discussion open is really important. So I need to create a classroom that is de-socializing, that makes students think about the ways that they understand things and consider alternate perspectives of these things that society has been teaching them. I need a democratic classroom where everyone feels they have the right to participate and has a voice. I need to create a classroom that is involved in researching, because a big part of critical thinking is being able to go away, research the issue and come back with your own conclusion or some discussion about the topic. I want a classroom that is interdisciplinary, because there's more than one subject in the curriculum, and we need to cover all of them, and we need to explore these multiple topics. They're all important, and there's multiple ways to look at every topic. And I need to create a classroom that is activist. I want students to be interested in topics such as sustainability and welfare and those really important things like recycling and local community, getting involved in local community, and why do we have protests? What can we do about the issues in our society? Students have a voice and they can use it if they see an issue that needs speaking up about. So some other things that I want in my classroom that aren't hit on directly by looking at democratic social education is I want to create, I agree with Vygotsky's theory of socio-cultural learning, where learning is student-centered, and there's group work, and students learn off one another, as well as off the teacher. So we all come with these funds of knowledge, and we share them with one another. Another important thing I want in my classroom is to be creating generative topics, so that there's something behind what the students are learning that they enjoy. It's not just going to be a lecture on history. We're going to actually get in there and explore history in ways that make sense to the students today, and maybe relate it to something that they enjoy now, like finding a book that has some great historical buildings in it, and then looking at buildings, in this day and age that are similar. Allow discussions to flow. Let them talk about, all the issues involved. Don't just go, hey, we're getting off topic, let it flow. And if you end up somewhere different, as long as it's still in the same realm of HASS, then that's great. Maybe that's something to look into later, or help them learn about the topic where they ended up. And that also goes into relevance. It needs to be relevant to the student, what's happening for them here and now. Community engagement. I want in my classroom, I want to involve the community and society around us. Kinchlow says that self-expression is really important for students, so I want them to be able to express themselves in my classroom. It's a good part of HASS is having students that are able to express themselves. I want themes in my classroom. If I can choose a good theme that gets students impassioned about learning, that was fantastic, and I want to be able to involve ICT. There's so much we can learn from videos and creating things and everything. So as a teacher, I personally want to be able to build lessons around the student instead of building the lesson and giving it to the student. So what are the student's needs? I need to pay attention. I need to listen to what the student is saying and what this is the climate of the classroom. I want things to stay current. It needs to stay current. I'm out of time. I want to encourage passion in my students, questioning, question. You know, find a question, find an answer. I want to network with colleagues. I want to network with the local society. I'm going to be teaching varying opinion. I don't want to express one issue, one side of an issue. I want them to be able to look at both sides and let them decide whether it's good or bad. And building community partnerships, part of networking. Teach the children how to get out in the community, get involved with the community myself. So I want to finish with this quote from Ira Shaw, which says, "What students bring to the class is where learning begins." It's important to, as I was saying, funds of knowledge. Students bring so much to the classroom, and they can share it with one another, and they can share it with us as a teacher, and you can involve that in the learning. A child might come with a unique perspective from their culture or their background or something that they have learnt somewhere along the way, and it could be a great asset to the whole class, and you could centre some teaching around that. And so I really think this quote from Ira Shaw is a fantastic way to end. What students bring to the class is where learning begins. Thank you.